And we are back in Friendsim 2. Let's start chapter 5. Alright, continue to the next volume. Root contains warnings on depiction and discussion of alcohol and drug use. Root has action sequences. Player discretion advised. I'll turn the audio voice on in a second here. After we check the messages. Okay, Marvis. Not a fucking clue why they let me stay up on shitter. Oh, probably because it's a purple. The Empire equals evil and rotten and will always be the same. This isn't something you can reform. Okay, auto voicer go.
Self-voicing enabled. Zebit drops the others off where they need to go first, before circling back around and setting down in a clearing in the middle of a stand of purple-hued trees. You can't help but wonder, did you make the right decision? You dropped Kirava and Marsti off in the suburb of Outglood. Kirava said that they had some rebel contacts there that could help them go into hiding. You wish that you had a chance to hang out with your friends some more, but you don't feel like it'd be something they'd be down for, after everything. Ardata went off to her old hive too. You're not sure what, actually. Marsti is still furious with you for saving Ardata's life. But all you wanted to do was give everyone a second chance, to help everyone you were once friends with. At least it doesn't seem to have turned Marsti off of the idea of helping the rebels. If anything, it's only steeled her resolve to hurt the Empire as much as possible.
Hey, I was asking you if you've got everything you need?
I was actually kind of hoping that we'd keep the entire party together and whatnot, but sure, okay, Zebedee. I think this should be pronounced Zebedee, but whatever. I think the auto voice is just stupid.
You look up, suddenly aware of the fact that Zebit's been staring at you for a minute now. You think that you've got whatever you need. You try to travel light as much as possible, honestly. Zebit shrugs.
Sure, sounds good. You said you were looking for Jade Bloods?
You nod. If nothing else, you really need to try to find Daria and let her know her Moiril's doing alright.
Well, I don't know about her, but the cave nearby has a couple Jades living in it. One of them, he's kind of a stuck-up asshole.
Oh, that would be... something... Bombix, I think.
Oh yeah,
So
that must be Lank.
Yeah, Lank.
You haven't seen Lank since, well, you're not entirely sure how to parse what happened at that party. Zebit shrugs again.
I'm only running supplies there as a favor to Chixie anyway. Plus, it's on my regular run.
Is Chixie okay? You feel really bad about not being there for her as a Moiril, and some of her Chitra posts have been concerning.
Not sure. She's been spending a lot of time with some bulge-sucking high blood.
Zebit sighs heavily and looks nervously toward the cockpit.
Look, I'd love to keep talking, but, you know...
Places to go, people to see, that kind of thing?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
You stand there in the clearing as Zebit's ship lifts off behind you, heading off to whatever amazing adventures he's got ahead of him. And you're so fucking tired. It feels like you've already been at this for ages, and you've got the feeling that you're not even close to being done. The stars above are so clear, out here in the countryside, the night sky stands out in sharp relief. It's beautiful, but these are still unfamiliar stars. With a heavy sigh, you start walking. One foot in front of the other, until you're there. You walk in the direction that Zebit indicated earlier, making sure not to deviate from the path at all. After about an hour, you're starting to get a little nervous. 1. You can see the faint pre-dawn glow on the horizon, and you still have no idea where this cave is. 1. Self-voicing disabled.
Chixie. Big thanks to Selling Uppers for running the sound yesterday. Okay, so... that's L word, so that's kind of how they're going to bring those two together.
Suddenly, you stop. You can hear something around the corner of some nearby rocks, the sound of a motorcycle engine. You awkwardly roll to the side, just barely missing the motorcycle as it careens past you, slides along the hard scrabble of the road, and tips into a ditch. The rider is thrown off to the side into a conveniently placed patch of brush.
Fuck!
Oh, it's Wanchi. Okay.
Wanchi. You
Like
open
the
your
really
eyes and
young
look
one
over
in
toward the ditch,
Friendsim one.
only to see Wanchi struggling to pull herself out of the brush. Quickly, you run over to help.
Before I get too ahead of myself, I want to see what happens if you fail that.
2. Zebed drops the others off. Self-voicing disabled.
Zip, zip, zip.
Self-voicing enabled. Oh shit, maybe you weren't as quick as you thought.
Oh my god! Are you okay?
Nope.
You, very much aren't.
Okay.
The council will see you now.
Oh yeah, the council.
There's 2 figures standing in front of you. One is the Sylph of Space, who you've become almost irritatingly well acquainted with over the last few volumes. Sylph of Space, nice to see you again too. And you don't think you've seen this other one before. They glance over and give you a barely perceptible nod. Witch of Hope, it's good to see you. Yeah. Them too, you guess? Kinda sucks to always be under the circumstances of dying or breaking off some shitty divergent timeline though. Witch of Hope, sure, I get it. Things change. Plans don't go as expected. Witch of Hope, hey, have you ever thought about who you are? Like, really thought about it? Witch of Hope, what your place is here, all that good stuff. Oh yeah, all the time. You are. Okay, actually, you don't really think about that all that much. You just kind of react to everything that's happening around you, trying to fix things as much as you can. That's okay, right? Sylph of Space, sure, but maybe think about what you really want out of this. About why you're doing any of it. Sylph of Space, if something doesn't mean anything to you, why bother with it? You hadn't really stopped to consider what this means to you. Beyond the whole making friends with wild abandoned thing, and that wasn't necessarily the best approach, like, generally speaking. Witch of Hope, never too late to change things around, right? Sylph of Space, exactly. Sometimes you need to make adjustments. No plan survives contact with the enemy, even when that enemy is an undead skeleton warrior being controlled by a teenager. Yeah. That's right. You can feel reality, or what you understand to be reality, anyway, creeping back in to surround you. You wish it wasn't so hard to hold onto these encounters. And before you know it, you can see the faint pre-dawn glow on the horizon, and you still have no idea where this cave is. 3.
Okay.
Suddenly, you stop. You can hear something around the corner of some nearby rocks, the sound of a motorcycle engine. 3.
Okay,
3.
let's continue on.
You awkwardly roll to the side, just barely missing the motorcycle as it careens past you, slides along the hard scrabble of the road, and tips into a ditch. 3. Self-voicing
let's look at
disabled.
this before it gets too annoying. Marvis, yep. Who's the other one? I wish I would add more people in here. You know? Now I've seen a few other people.
Self-voicing enabled. The rider is thrown off to the side into a conveniently placed patch of brush.
Fuck!
Wanchi. You open your eyes and look over toward the ditch, only to see Wanchi struggling to pull herself out of the brush. Quickly, you run over to help. Except that Wanchi looks a little bit different than the last time you saw her. She groans and brushes off the front of her clothes.
I'm trying to see what those pins are. Looks like a wolf and maybe a capybara or something. Yeah, wasn't she big into some book series, I think? About like some animal thing? I don't really remember. That kind of looks animalistic too, right there.
I haven't seen you for more than 2 sweeps. Of course I look different, ooh.
You notice she's still adding the little you-woo thing to her sentences. Wanchi flushes deep jade green.
Shut up, I can't help it.
Sorry. You're not sure why you even remarked on that, just, you've been a little bit off lately is all. Stuff's been happening.
Sure.
At least she's not hurt, right? Wanchi grins and flexes her arm.
Hell yeah, jades are hard to kill.
You've got some experience with that, yeah. But is she just gonna ignore the fact that she's dressed kind of like Daria now?
Shut up, I just like dressing like this, okay?
No, it's a good look. Very good. As the kids might say, very valid.
What?
And also, she's riding a fucking motorcycle. That's cool as shit. Where did she get it? When did she learn to drive it? What was she doing away from the Jade Caverns? What's been happening lately?
Slow down, Uwu. And of course I can drive. I'm almost 8 sweeps, not some wiggler. The motorcycle isn't mine. It's Elward's. She let me borrow it to run into the city.
Okay, you have a lot of additional questions here, and you're not sure where to even start. Elward's still kicking around, you guess. And she has a motorcycle now, you guess. Wisely or not, you choose not to actually articulate any of these particular thoughts. You glance around, seeing if maybe you can locate the telltale glow of a city nearby. Wanchi shakes her head.
It's not that close. We'd never make it back before sunup now.
Well, fuck.
But we can probably walk the bike back to the cave. What happened to you? I know we weren't super close, but you just kind of vanished, Uwu.
You give Wanchi the short, least crazy sounding version of your story. Honestly, she seems to take it pretty well in stride.
It's not like weird shit doesn't happen around here. It's just, the caverns can get so boring sometimes. Even with their dumb quadrant drama. Don't know why they can't all just admit they like each other.
Wanchi doesn't bother to explain that one anymore, but you figure that maybe you've got some time for questions as you walk this motorcycle along the road in a slow motion race against the impending dawn.
Okay.
Save slot 5, Saturday.
Could have actually
Save,
saved over that
close.
one. Whatever. Let's see. What's she into these days?
What? Seems like Wanchi's been up to all kinds of things, changing up her fashion, learning to drive, presumably other things. But because you lack a sense of proper interpersonal continuity, you can't help but wonder if she's still super into soldier per beasts.
Oh yeah.
That's still cool, right?
Oh god no, Uwu. Soldier Per Beasts is for grubs. I'm really into She-Ra lately, the reboot with Adora Weaver in it.
What? Okay, that's a bit on the nose.
Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding. Is the show literally just called Troll She-Ra for real?
What else would it be called, Uwu? Anyways, it's great. It's about a teenage girl who fights for the Empire and her long-lost mate Sprit, who was kidnapped by the evil rebels. She even kisses Catra in the last season before they both get recruited as the Empress's personal bodyguards.
Cool. Very cool. As long as she's happy, you guess. Wanchi shrugs and shakes her head.
Maybe not happy, but I'm getting by, I guess.
Troll She-Ra still sounds like propaganda. The way she describes the show, it sounds kind of a little bit a whole lot like Imperial propaganda. It reminds you of the whole Beck Rogers thing that Skylo mentioned.
That's stupid, ooh. Beck Rogers is for old people and weird hemo-spectrum supremacists.
Yeah, you did get the sense that the show was pretty bigoted. Like, almost to the point of parody.
I know, right? This is totally different. Katra's even in Olive Blood, and no one treats her like she's less important because of it.
Yeah, you're not sure that not as racist as it could be is a very high bar to cross, but you're glad she's got something to keep her occupied.
I guess. I've been getting into other stuff too.
And on that incredibly vague statement, Wanchi lapses into silence again.
Okay, well, I think we'll get all these in turn.
What other stuff has she been up to?
Well, I've been working on a game.
Good.
Like, a video game? Something like that? Wanchi shakes her head.
No, I don't get to do anything like that. I'm just using paper and shit. Not like Lank and Elbert have video games anyways.
Okay, yeah, you guess that's fair. So, what's the deal with the game?
I'll show you when we get back to the cave, Uwu. It'll be easier that way.
Fair enough. Well, what other kinds of things is she getting into these days? You weren't really clear on exactly what the Jades are expected to do as they get older.
Branya had me doing piano lessons, just like Daria.
Wanchi seems to inflate a little bit when she says this.
So they're pronouncing it Daria. I always, in my head, pronounce it Daria. But whatever.
God, if I could play in the band like her one day.
Oh, Daria's band. You know all about Daria's punk band, a thing which is completely canonical and has definitely always existed.
Meaning they just made it up. This is basically fanfic, but whatever.
What?
Never mind. You're glad she's got hobbies.
I guess.
How are the other Jades doing? Wanchi rolls her eyes at the question and waves a hand in the air dismissively.
You mean Branya, Lanera, and Daria, right?
So didn't Lanera canonically die in Hive's the latest adventure game? Or I think that's an option that she died. Although I do think those twin purple bloods definitely died in that game. But I think Lanera is has the possibility of possibly dying depending on your actions.
Yeah. Is something wrong? You're starting to get a sinking feeling in your gut. How close were they to ascension?
It's just that they can't pull their heads out of their asses anymore. Ooh.
Well, thank God they're not off-world, at least. Wanchi shakes her head, frowning.
Everyone's in a quadrant with everyone else, but none of them are where they want to be.
She doesn't really elaborate on what that means, exactly, and you're not sure that now is the right time to dig into it. Maybe later, like, next month. Or maybe in an hour or two, if you feel like it.
What are you talking about?
Never mind. What's...
She's not really doing anything, Uwu. She just keeps sitting around reading the same fucking book, daydreaming about how she fucked things up with Branya.
That doesn't sound especially healthy. Wanchi laughs as she kicks a small pebble out from in front of her foot.
Yeah, no shit. She's been in the cave for a couple weeks now. She was getting out, but something spooked her, I guess. You'll have to ask her yourself.
1. After a walk that feels like it would have gone by a lot slower without that conversation, or a lot faster if you could actually ride the motorcycle, you finally Save slot, save, load slot.
Yep.
What's Lank up to? As soon as you mention Lank, Wanchi's expression softens.
He's been better, but he's not being a jerk about it. Ooh. He even decided to play my game. I think he really likes it.
You're not sure how you feel about Lank, honestly. Your memories are a little muddled and it feels like maybe you didn't have the best first impression of the guy.
Oh no, he's been nice.
Because he kinda seemed like a snarky bitch when you met him last.
Basic fuckboy.
Well, he still is. But in a nice way.
Sure. You'll be the judge of that, you guess.
So does
What's
picking this
L-word
one
doing?
always go to the end?
She just keeps sitting around reading this, daydreaming about how she fucked things.
That doesn't sound especially healthy. Wanchi
Yeah,
laughs as she kicks a
She's been in the
small
cave
pebble
for
out
a
from
couple.
in front
She
of her foot.
was getting out, but something. You'll have to ask her yourself.
Oh,
Is she
okay.
helping the rebels now?
What?
She's going to a cave that's being supplied by a rebel pilot. At least one of the people in said cave has had at least some tangential involvement with the rebellion, right?
Sure, I guess, but I'm just hanging out with them. When Lank ran away from the caverns and went into hiding, I didn't just want to leave him by himself. I always kind of looked up to him, you know?
You're not sure what kind of role model Lank is for anyone but, sure, whatever she says.
Like you're one to talk. You were gone for sweeps, ooh.
Okay, fair. You suppose you kinda deserved that one. Has she considered what she's gonna do next?
Do you mean right now, or in general?
Both.
We're gonna get this motorcycle back before sunrise and hope Elward doesn't kill me, ooh. In general? I don't know.
You know she's getting close to 10 sweeps now, so that means she's going to be sent off-world soon, right? Wanchi nods slowly.
Yeah, but it's not that simple for us Jades. Empire needs to keep the caverns running. It's a long story. Kinda don't want to talk about it right now.
You can understand that, but it's not like she can keep running away from it forever, right?
We're not talking about this right now.
What's she into these days? Seems like Wanchi's been up to all kinds of things, but because you lack a sense of proper interpersonal continuity,
Oh God,
you
no.
can't help but
Soldier
wonder if she's
Purbies,
still
this is
super
for
into
grabs.
Soldier
I'm
Purbies. Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding. Is the show literally
What
just
else would it
called
be
Troll
called?
CRA for real?
Anyways, it's great. It's about a teenage girl who fights. She even kisses Katra in the last
Cool.
Maybe
Very
not
cool.
happy, but
As long as
I'm
she's
getting
happy,
by.
after a walk that feels like it would
I
have gone
think
by
it's
a lot
probably
slower
like a
without
timed
that
thing.
conversation,
You only get
or a lot
somebody
faster if you could
conversation
actually
going.
ride the motorcycle. You finally arrive at the cave. 1.
Yeah, this is good enough.
This is definitely not the Jade Caverns. 1. Self-voicing disabled.
Let's see what this message is. Otherwise, the auto voicer will just keep saying 1. Can't believe I just found them wandering about. Okay, let's start from the beginning here. If I have to hear one more thing, time how BBB, extremely concerned BB, Bronya is, I'm a scream. This is officially bullshit Jade Wiggler drama-free zone. The final boss design is so hard. So far I've got indescribably horrible and that's it. I think I made it too easy. Gotta tweak the starting encounter. Woo. My name is Lanira Scalby. I have an incredibly obvious crush. I do not. I'm gonna add these people. But yeah, I suppose they don't want to have to write stuff for everyone all the time. Maybe one day I'll start my own band. Can't believe I just found them wandering around.
Self-voicing enabled.
Yeah, no shit.
This is definitely
Ooh.
not the Jade
We don't have
Caverns.
time to walk there before daylight.
What the fuck did you do to my bike?
Okay, they've really butched out L word a bit, which, you know, I mean, is a decision.
Hey there, L-word. Long time, no see. L-word ignores you completely.
What happened? I told you to be careful.
I almost hit this one, Uwu.
L-word turns to stare at you, suddenly very aware of your existence.
You're back, huh? Still causing trouble for everyone around you?
Is that the same voice actress that did, like pretty much everyone?
You're about to stammer out some kind of explanation when Elward breaks into a grin and winks at you.
Nah, I respect the hell out of that. Just, you better hope this bike's okay. Otherwise, I'm gonna have a talk with you.
Elward walks over to the motorcycle and begins to check it. After a minute, she looks up and sighs.
It's fine, I guess. I can fix it. Hey, grub size, we still gonna do the game thing?
I thought you said that game was for wigglers.
Obviously, I changed my mind. I'm bored out of my pan here. You know how many times I've read that same fucking book?
With a huff, Elward begins to roll the motorcycle toward the mouth of the cave. As she reaches the entrance, she turns back and grins at you.
You want to keep me company while I do this? Just say the word. Bet you got all kinds of crazy-ass stories, right?
Yeah, she could say that. You shudder. You're not sure you want to go over all of your crazy-ass stories right now.
God, she can be so fucking weird. Come on, let's go.
Not so fast. Did I hear you say something about crashing the bike?
Appearing out of the shadows of the cave entrance, you see the tall, slender figure of Lank Bombix. He's wearing, well, honestly, it kind of looks like fancy pajamas.
I'd have to double check exactly what his original character design is, but it's definitely captures the same essence, but I'm not sure if it's how close it is to the original design. I think normally he has like a coat like hanging off his shoulders or something, but maybe a bit more green, but it's been too long, I can't really say for sure.
It's loungewear, suitable for both indoor and casual outdoor use. Not that I'd expect someone so obviously uncultured to get that.
Okay, so they directly address that. Go ahead.
Wenchi, what was that about crashing?
I just put the bike into a ditch when I swerved to avoid that one, ooh.
Don't you ooh-woo me. You could have been hurt.
But I wasn't.
Lank sighs and blows a strand of hair out of his eyes, putting a hand on his hips and shaking his head with a look of disapproval that he probably learned from Brynja.
Fine. I'm not your Lucis.
That's right. I'm gonna go inside and get the game ready. You should play with us in a little bit, ooh.
With a quick wave of her hand, Wanchi disappears into the cavern, leaving you out in front with Lank. So, how's he been? You laugh nervously. For some reason you feel like your last encounter with Lank was incredibly awkward for some reason.
I suppose you could call it that. You're not the first person to have embarrassed themselves on my account.
Yeah, you're having such a hard time putting your finger on why you're feeling this way. But, rapidly changing the subject back, how is he doing? Self-voicing disabled.
Quick message. One sheet. Oh, now she's worried when her stuff is okay.
Overall,
Self-voicing enabled.
wretched. Have you
Lank.
ever lived in a cave
Overall.
before?
No, although you did spend a lot of time in an abandoned building.
It's not the same. The damp it's bad for the skin. Ugh, why am I even talking to you about this? Do you even...
Maybe.
I'm going to go check on Elward. She's been a bit of a mess lately. If you insist on catching up, I suppose I'll be around. What else am I doing, right?
The first rays of the incoming daylight are starting to poke over the horizon, so you should probably head inside. Hell, might as well catch with your friends while you're stuck inside, right? As you walk in, you can hear Lank and Elward talking around the corner in low voices.
And I think that's actually a good place to call it for now. I'm sure it's only about we've only got about a half hour, but you know, I'm trying to pace myself. I did try to plow my way through chapter 4 last night, and yeah, it was a bit longer than I was expecting. Not to say it was bad, but you know, whatever. Anyway, let's go ahead and
Save next
here.
file. Save slot. Save slot.
Right on a new page.
Save.
So,
Close. As you walk in,
anyway,
you
till
can hear
next
Lank
time,
and Elward.
Lita.
Save. Main menu. Save. Yes. Volume 11.